What's up, guys? Today we're back in the garage trying to figure out pretty much some more things I could do to this truck to make it drive better. I know with this being a half ton, it's not supposed to be super tight, rough suspension or anything heavy duty like a 2500, but I've always kind of felt that it's just a little too soft, and especially the front end. Well, I was told that the front end has jounce bumpers on the front. These would be your bump stops for the rear. These are the sway bar bushings for the rear. We're going to do those as well. Moog. And then these are jounce stops for the front. And we're going to get under here and inspect our jounce stops on the front end. And I'll show you guys where those are. But one thing that I noticed before I got into this, which I haven't even inspected these jounce stoppers yet on this truck, but I noticed that this side here seemed to be a little bit lower than the passenger side, and I don't know why. I don't know if that's because the torsion bars are getting weak, and maybe that side has decided to drop a little bit. So I think we're going to turn that torsion key up, put a little more tension on it, and then we'll drop it. We'll see what height we get on this fender, or from this tire clearance to fender, and see what other kind of adjustments we need. I'd like to put this front end up about a whole nother inch if I could. One way, I know a lot of you guys know how to do this, but some people get on me for not being descriptive. Obviously, this is not going to be the right reading because I got it on the jack and jack stands now, but if you want to measure your clearance on both sides, take your tape measure there and measure from your outer tire to the bottom of your fender there. So on this driver's side, I ended up getting 5 1/4. On the passenger side, I got 5 7/8. So not too crazy far off, but definitely enough to, notice it a little bit. And it does definitely drive a little wonky. So let's crawl up under here and inspect these jounce stoppers. So like I said, the jounce stoppers are the small ones. The bump stops are the larger ones. They go in the rear. The jounce stops go in the front. All right, as we crawl under the truck here, get over here and you'll notice your A-arms and all that. Here's your CV axle, so get an eye on your CV axle. Let's prop this light up. So that right there is your jounce stopper, and just looking at that one there, it looks pretty, like I said, we're pointing to this rubber guy here. It looks pretty beat up. Probably pretty normal for 200,000 miles. I'm sure people have seen a lot worse. Now let's hop over here to the other side and see what this passenger side's looking like. Mind you, that side was the lower side. Okay, so on the passenger side, that sits up about a 1/2 inch higher, we have a jounce stopper here, as you could tell, is in pretty good shape. It don't look like it's taking much of a beating. So, and I could be completely wrong on this, but my way of thinking is that maybe this is the passenger side torsion bar, but maybe this bar on the driver's side has gotten a little weaker than this side. Maybe it's gave out a little bit. So hopefully we can bring that up and see if we can get a little bit of clearance back, and then maybe even throw, a little more stiffness in this front end, because it really feels like an old Cadillac, guys. It's pretty bad, and I'm trying to figure it out. We got the steering components all done, the new pitman arm and everything, as you guys seen, but I haven't gotten the alignment yet. I kind of want to figure out a couple more things, and then we might also be switching to Bilstein 4600s. I know everyone says Bilstein 5100s, but I don't really want to lift the front much unless I end up putting the Z71 coil springs in the back to stiffen it up, which we'll talk about later. But for now, anybody see that coolant dripping right there? That is coming from near the firewall somewhere, but it's not the heater core lines above coil 8. Some people say there is a separate heater core in the rear of these. I just want your opinions on that. Maybe you guys can help me out on that. I haven't been able to find that. And we still have not done the oil cooler delete yet. So that is one thing we will do eventually. So I think all we need to remove these from the truck is maybe a screwdriver. We'll get one of my cheapos here. I'll grab this big dude, why not? And then we ain't got to get up 100 times. Let's go ahead and grab this for just maybe. Grab these too. All right. Let's get a tool on this guy and see how easy it will come out. You guys can see the tool here, right? We're gonna try to pop this rubber guy out. Let's try the smaller screwdriver. We could pry up in there. Okay. I'm sure this thing's been getting jounced in there for a good long while. It's hard to hold the camera. Okay, it's definitely a little more stiff in there than I thought it'd be. I'm gonna try to move this light. You guys can see it better. Oh, now I'm blinded. Okay, that might be a little better. Alright. Man, I can't wait till my son gets old enough to hold the flashlight so I can yell at him. No, I'm just kidding. I won't yell at him. Man, this thing's crusty. Come on out of there. Alright, you're definitely going to want to get both hands on this, and it'll come out actually quite easy then if you're not filming. Get that screwdriver up in this dude and then just prop it out. Plop it on out. Here it is. Let's see, let's get this light down here. Alright, so that's the old one there. As you can tell, it's taking a beating. That's not from me, that's just, I guess, the punishment it's taken. I suggest probably cleaning its little home up before we plop the new one in. So when you go to install your new one, just literally, almost like you're screwing it on, just push one side in and then wiggle it and twist that thing and it'll pop right in. There's nothing special to it. I don't believe you'll have any issue putting that bad boy in there. I think you'll be just fine. So don't be afraid to do that. Let's move on to the next. Alright, here goes the old one. That fell right out. Now here, we'll plop the new one in. Plop one side in, you'll see there's a notch right there. And then we'll get it on that notch. And then from there, it's just pushing on around it. I'm going to sit you down for a minute because I'm not going to be able to do it with one hand. Alright, so here's the driver's side versus the passenger side jounce. Stopper, bumper, whatever it is. And like I said, these things are only $10 for the bump stops and the two front. So, you know, it ain't going to kill your budget to buy some new ones. And if it helps you out, hey, great. Just out of curiosity, though, I want to drop this thing down real quick and get a new measurement. And I kind of want to take a look at them and see how exactly they're sitting, because I didn't really pay attention to that much before. I know the truck is supposed to slightly sit on them. Put this thing down. All right. Now we're all the way down. Let's get a quick measurement on this dude. Okay, well, 6 1/8. Well, that's a lot higher. Oh wow. Okay. So 6 5/8. Wow. We got almost an inch just out of the end of those jounts. stoppers or whatever. So now my question is, which I'm probably going to have to pull the old Googleator out, is if that truck is really supposed to have that much pressure on those jump stops. I don't know. I know it's supposed to be barely touching, but if it's raised the whole front end an inch, wouldn't that mean that it's doing a little more than touching? I don't know. Could be wrong. I'm not a mechanic. Oh, yeah. So, get my light in here so you guys can see. So, I mean, for the most part, I think that kind of looks normal. I mean, it's sitting on there pretty good, but I don't know. That thing looks a little bit squished. Let's check out the other side. Maybe it won't look as squished. Oh. Okay, so yeah, this side here is definitely not touching near as much. I don't know if you guys can see that. Let me get you in there closer. Yep, so we got to do something. Man, we need to get an alignment on this thing. Look at that. Whew. Oh, yeah. I think I'll take it tomorrow. This side is not as bad. I don't know if y'all can tell that on camera, but it's pretty bad. I don't think that would have anything to do with that jounce, though. Alright. So, daggone it, I forgot what I said. Anyways, I'm going to remeasure those, and then we're going to kick this torsion bar up some and see if we can't get it level with the passenger side. Alright, so I got my measurements on my wheel wells again, which is pretty much right in line with being the same amount off as the first measurement we got. So I crawl under the center of the truck here, right at the transfer case, to take a look at these torsion bars, and I immediately notice the driver's side bolt for the torsion bar is backed off that far. Let me slide in here so you guys can see. And then, hang on, it's dag near all the way flush. So let's take, for one, I haven't messed with these things in God knows how long, since I had my first truck probably. So we're gonna see if this little weak dude can even run it in any. See what happens. Okay, so I mean, that's turning it right. Hopefully that ain't lowering the daggone thing. Alright, before I go too wild, I'm going to get out and lower this thing and look at it again. Hang on one second. Alright. Well, I might have did something wrong, because, damn, now the whole thing looks higher. Let's grab my handy dandy tape. Dang it. Come on now. All right, 6 3/4. Okay, so right under 7. Huh, not too bad. So I wonder if I just put a slight crank on this side. I wanted to lift it slightly anyway. Which, this already, my camera's fogging, let me clean it up. This is already looking more level. Once we get this thing out of the garage, you guys will really be able to tell. And we'll take it for a ride test. It don't look near, I know it's only a couple inch difference, but damn, I mean, it already looks taller. So let's bump this other side, and then let's get another measurement on it. Let's see if we can get these dudes even, and if we can, we'll take this thing to the alignment rack tomorrow, and then I'll give you guys a test drive and an update, because this time I'm not going to do all that before giving you guys an update. So let's go over here. We'll jack this dude back up real quick. Cranking up on that driver's side torsion arm over there a little bit more. Finally got us even on both sides. We come out at 7 1/8 on both sides, which is up pretty drastically from the 5 1/4 and 5 7/8. Then that was the second number we got, and then our final number is 7 1/8 on both sides. So we picked up a whole inch from the second pass, pretty much 2 inches total almost. And just by looking, I mean, this truck is completely level now. So, you know, I assume they probably have a little bit of a rake from the factory, but I wanted to turn it up a little bit. I could tell by looking at that tire, it's way out of whack alignment wise. So need to get that straightened out, because I'm going to pick my camper up this weekend and I don't want to have any issues. So we're going to do all the maintenance between now and this weekend. And hopefully this thing will be good to go. And hopefully it'll drive so good that I don't have to blow any more money on shocks, because those ones I put on there really ain't that old. Maybe a year and a half or so. But they're definitely, you know, cheap Parks House type shocks. So now let's get under this thing and do a visual inspection on the rear bump stops and sway bar bushings, because we're going to be doing that as well. Under the rear now, we'll see that the, well, for one, I'll tell you this Denali was equipped with air ride, and that is one of the cheapo air ride delete kits. I don't know if you've seen that video, but you can go through my page and find it. I have yet to change the coil springs, because they say the coil springs are weaker in the Denalis or any of the Tahoes and Escalades that come with the air ride. And just from, and then my light dies. Great, hang on. So, as a visual inspection, that's the rear bump stop. As you can tell, that thing's pretty wasted. The other side looks the exact same, so we're definitely going to replace those. I've had a lurching issue. Whenever I take off, I'll get a bit of a lurch. And yeah, this thing has no major rust, just surface rust. I need to get on that, scrape it a little bit and recoat it, but I do fluid film this truck, so off topic, of course, like always. Anyways, so supposedly if you put these on, it's supposed to be pretty good. And I will say it's way better than the blown out air ride I've got. It's still a little soft in the rear end, doesn't really feel quite like a truck. I'm probably going to upgrade to either the factory replacement Z71 spring from a Tahoe Z71, or the Moog HD replacement for a 2000 through 06 Z71 Tahoe would do the trick in place of the coil spring. But right now, we're definitely going to replace those bump stops, which should be easy. And then, let's see, I'd say these sway bar bushings, actually, they're right here. They ain't the worst I've ever seen, that's for sure. These might have been replaced, to be honest with you. These don't look too bad. Rubber on them, no cracking. Heck, those might be good, but we got Moog, so we'll replace them anyway. Let's, I'm going to work on getting that bump stop off. And this is the same thing. You just pry this thing out. I don't think you guys have to have me show you that one. It's going to be hard to hold the camera, but I'll pry them out, and then I'll let you know how easy it went. That was super easy taking that out. You barely have to even get your screwdriver in on that thing. That is absolutely horrible. I don't know how much of a difference this will make, because I'm not gunning it at stop signs all the time, but that should definitely be a major improvement. And if anything, in the looks department. So let's throw these in, and then let's get on these sway bar bushings. And like I said, these are the same as the front. You just twist them in and take a little bit of muscle, but there's nothing special to it. Just take your screwdriver, pop these dudes out, and they'll come out easy. And then pretty much pop these and then wiggle them a little bit, and they'll pop right in for you. Like I said, no issues there. So let's put them. Once you get your new bump stop seated in the position there, one thing that I didn't take into account is there is going to be some surface rust in there when you pull it out, the old one, because all the moisture that got around it. Just slip you a little bit of lube, oil, whatever you have to lube the new bump stop up. before you put it into place. And I found it easy to take my pry bar and just lightly push it, and it snapped all the way in. But as you can see, this is fully seated, so if yours is sticking out at the top in any way, it is not fully seated. So just make sure you got those things planted up in there. I'd hate to see one of you guys lose it right after getting it. That would suck. So now for the sway bar bushings. Right here you see your bar. Move these little lines out of the way. There's your bushing. There's your shock there. So we're going to be replacing this bushing with Moog. You might want to soak those bolts down with some WD, PB Blast, Aero Coil, whatever you guys have. Depending on the rust on your truck, it could be a little difficult. But then grab you a 10mm deep well socket, a little impact, or get you a 3/8, ½ inch, whatever you want to use. Drop that out. Now this guy here, get your little screwdriver, pop that dude out. This ain't too bad. I've seen them a lot worse. You can clean that up if you want, but mine looks decent. So take your wish that light would quit flicking. Work, dummy. All right, so my handy dandy screwdriver. All right. Take that old bushing, it's still on the bar. I gotta try to pry this dude off. There you go. Get up under it. I have to drop that other side down some before we do this. All right, there we go. Just pry down on it with your screwdriver. I know it's a terrible angle. You know what? Let's loosen the other side. That'd make my life a lot easier. Alright, let's see if this will do it. That driver is too weak. By the way, you guys shouldn't use that as an impact, but kind of better than nothing. I'm gonna put my handy dandy ratchet on that one. I ever put these things on, wasn't playing. Lord have mercy. I think the Incredible Hulk put them damn things on. Oh! Let's see if we can get that other side loose. Alright, see if the little impact driver wants to, nut driver, I'm sorry, wants to help me out. Alright, come free. Much gooder. I'm going to let that bolt right there dangle a little bit. I'm going to take it all the way out. Alright. Back to the driver's side bushing. There we go. Slide it right on down. Pop that guy off of there. I don't know if that's factory or not. 3 81 ABS 22. Definitely soft compared to the Moog. Let's say it's been replaced. Alright, now let's pop our new bushing on. Might be a little hard to do one-handed. Let's bring it down here where you can get back on it. I think I'm going to put you guys right here for just a second. Open this thing up. This Moog is tight. I'll be dipped. Using my screwdriver to pry open on it. I'll tell you guys what, I did energy suspension on the front. And everyone says that that's the best. I'm not sure. I got Moog for the back because I really, really like the price point of it. But one thing I will say directly off the bat is these Moogs seem to be a lot harder than the energy suspension brand. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I'm kind of thinking that's a good thing considering I'm tired of how soft this truck rides, but I guess we'll see. Hang on. Don't y'all be making fun of me. I'm not the sway bar bushing king. I've only done probably one or two ever. Jeez Louise. I mean, wow. Where's my pry bar? Here it is. Put the pry bar in it. Alright. Starting to piss me off now. Come on now. How can something so simple be so damn difficult? Story of my life. Damn. That's another thing about the energy brand. They didn't feel tight like this. They kind of slipped right on. It kind of has me wondering if maybe I shouldn't try the Moog out on the front. Geez, I'm sure there's some stupid easy way to do this, but maybe if I slide it up here on the skinny end. Well, that's definitely the answer, guys. Don't be like me. Take that thing and put it on the skinny part. Then you can just slide the daggone thing back and around. It will make your life so much easier. Now watch this damn line be in the way. Oh, yeah. Thought it was going to be easy, huh? Go on now. There we go. Let's pull that line out. Now we're on business. So now we're just going to put our bracket back on there. And then we're going to zip our boats back up. And that's literally done. That's all you're going to do. But one thing I would recommend is not fully tightening these boats yet until we get the other side on. So just hold tight on that for a second. After getting it all back together, the next day I took it to get in alignment. And it was definitely way off after adjusting the torsion bar. So if you do that, definitely make sure you guys get in alignment or you're going to eat up your tires. All I got to say is do not sleep on the $10 parts. The the jout stoppers paired with the Moog sway bar bushings in the rear did a world of a difference. I mean, it actually, like, I thought it was good just from replacing all the steering components, but to be honest with you, what I did what I did in this video is actually did quite a bit, more of a difference than that. So I definitely highly advise doing that. And if you're looking into, steering issues on your truck, maybe take what I've done and do all of it all at once, and then you'd be real surprised. So definitely feels more like a truck. I know the steering's probably not, any more stiff, but it feels more sure of itself. I don't get the sway in the rear end going around turns, which actually I think the sway bar bushings may have, linked to a lot of the issues going on up front, because that ass end's so heavy. I mean, if it's back there bouncing around, I mean, surely, it's knocking the front end around a little bit. Either or, the truck feels way more sure-fitted on the road. It doesn't rock back and forth. I don't have to fight to keep it in a lane anymore. Every time I come out and look at it in the parking lot or wherever, it has that, truck stance again, instead of being all blown out looking and, with a bunch of rake, it kind of looked goofy. It just feels more like a truck again. So definitely highly recommend it. Hope you guys can find this video helpful or something. I'm not really ever looking to do tutorials, but it kind of turns out that way sometimes. But now, for this next video, we're going to get this thing ready for towing season. We're going to be doing a lot of camping and a lot of driving this thing, so I'm going to go ahead and change all the fluids in it and do the oil cooler delete as well. So you guys take it easy.